I'm going to show you a very cool trick. Basically, it's how to make your wigs almost tangle proof in a really simple way. The only thing you're gonna need is, I'm just gonna say this stuff because this is the best that I've found. It's mane and tail detangler, and you will find it in the horse section of whatever store, like Amazon or something you're looking for. It's really cheap, it's like under a tenner, in both dollar and pound. And there's a lot of it. It's basically what you would spray in the mane and tail of a horse to stop it from tangling up. It's a silicone-based spray, perfectly like natural. You don't need to have like blow dry it or anything, although I prefer to. And on that note, I'm quickly going to plug in one of my first things. I'm going to plug in a straightener so that can heat up. Straightener or a hairdryer, you kind of want to like, I know you don't have to, but I like to, you know, seal the material in. And basically the three main things you will need for this, because the straightener is not required. You're going to need a brush, one like this, like a comb brush. Don't use like a roll brush. You want a comb, basically. Relatively wide one is pretty good. Second thing you're going to need is a wig head and a wig. Technically it's 4 things because I can't count. Yeah, so 1, 2, I've got mine mounted on the tripod that my body form fits on, and I've just wedged some fabric up in there. Really should have it on like a wig head, or just try and put it up on something. Oh, there's a label in this, because this is untouched. Alright, sweet. This is a very long wig that I have not used. It's heat safe. If you're gonna use straighteners to like seal this shit in, make sure your wig is heat safe, otherwise you're just gonna melt your wig. But yeah, you want something that lets the wig hang down naturally. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is this shit. And first thing you want to do is just comb out your wig as basic as you can if it isn't already tangled. If your wig is tangled to shit, then just skip this step. I just do this because it's easier if I can. Never had hair this long, ever in my life. I never had hair longer than this, I don't think. No, I definitely haven't. Maybe when I was a baby. But when I was a baby I had an afro, so that hair went up. Yeah, luckily this is new, so it's, you know, bag fresh. If you are doing this to a wig with curls, it will relax the curls a little bit, so you might have to like curl it again. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna spray this shit through it quite liberally. You're not gonna need to wash this out, so don't worry too much about it. If it gets a little damp, who gives a shit? Get the insides as well. Word of warning, because I'm absolutely not doing this. Don't do this on a bathroom floor or any sort of like vaguely smooth floor, like carpet's great, or put something down. Don't do it on laminate like I'm doing, because this shit is gonna turn your room into an ice rink. Oh, it's fine. Alright, I've like nearly died a few times since the last time I did this, and I didn't put down a sheet. And this time I'm doing it and I haven't put down a sheet. So shortly after this video, or maybe even in this video if you're lucky, I will eat shit on the floor because I will forget once again that I sprayed everything with silicone. Like when you feel how slippery it makes the floor, then you'll be like, man, no wonder my wigs aren't gonna tangle. We're just going through. You don't really need to put it in the fringe, but you can, just for sort of sake of it. I always try and get it by the nape, because I find that's where it tangles a lot, because that's sort of where collars and stuff rub. Although for me, because I never had long hair, my wigs get really tangly because I don't know how to deal with long hair. I'm always like, ugh. Alright, so it's kind of damp now with this stuff, and you can just, this stuff smells, yeah, it's got quite a nice smell anyways as well. Now, with wigs, you always start combing from the bottom. You never go from there because you're just gonna ripple the hair out of your wigs. You should immediately notice like a difference in the ease at which you can sort of get your comb through. If you have a really tangled, like frizzy wig, like really liberally spray it with this shit, start from the bottom and work your way up, and it'll really like tease out any of the tangles, and it kind of like heals the wig as well. I use this on all my wigs when I buy them normally. I'll just go through them with the silicone stuff when it first arrives, just to sort of protect it in advance. It's already very easily going through. You know, try and work silicone into every strand if you can, because it's going to stop the hairs, it's going to stop the friction essentially from causing the hairs to tangle, and it'll stop them from sort of balling up. They should just slip around nice and slippery, like well-oiled noodles. I'm very hungry, as you can tell. I'm gonna do just wet the bottom a little bit. I don't think there's, you know, such a thing as too much you can spray on this. Honestly, it's really, for me, too much is when my floor becomes just unwalkable. Or better, when my dog comes into my room and can't leave because she's somehow wandered onto an ice rink that's in the middle of the house in summer. Cool thing is this also stops static. So you are gonna have a nice staticky free wig. Because it stops static and stuff like that, it should sort of minimize flyaways, all these things that make your wigs tangle and look, you know, like wigs. Look how easy this is already going through. Like, look at that shit. Oh, that's the actual wig cap. If you did that on a wig that you hadn't put silicone in, that would be 500 knots already. Oops, made 1 knot. Oh, yeah, see, you can just brush it through your fingers. Do it all the way up to the roots as well, because you'll be surprised where you can force knots to appear. I'm actually going to be butchering this wig later, but I thought this was a good enough excuse to show you guys a tip for sort of detangling wigs. I have another wig that I might film and then make into like a second part, which is completely fucked. It's my Jinx wig from League of Legends. Man, is it ill. It is really kind of tangled and it looks tired. Like, it's got that like horrible dusty matte color from just where it's so dead. And I'd like to show you guys how good this shit is at healing wigs and making them easier to like plait, stuff like that. Just a bit more, because you don't feel slippery enough. And my floor is still walkable. But yeah, look at that. I challenge you to try and comb through a wig like this without having, you know, this shit in. It's good! I should probably take care of that a little bit. You'll be able to feel bits that you've missed because they will just be like, the texture will feel quite different to the rest of the wig. There we go. This is quite nice and damp. And what I'm gonna do, now that I've worked this stuff through, like, it looks like I'm using quite a lot, but this is a 355 milliliter bottle. It gon' last. Go through and roughly straighten your wig, or, you know, use a hairdryer. Just sort of seal this shit in. You don't need to do like a stellar sort of Tresemme level hair straightening job. You just kind of want to like dry this shit in a little bit. Also, because just adding moisture to wigs can cause it to sort of change its wig fiber like shape. If you've got like a curly wig and you spray it through with this stuff, some of the curls are going to drop out. And with a straight wig like this, it's been like straightened to be super straight. As I started adding the spray to it, some sort of like slight waves started coming into it. And that's sort of its like pre-treated state. So you just want to go through and reset whatever shape you want it to be in while it's still a little damp. This also helps to sort of get rid of flyaways. This is like ASMR to me right now. God. Oh yeah, that shit is good. So yeah, you'll end up with a super sort of hard to tangle wig that you can basically straighten out with your fingers. Any sort of knots should be easy to break up with just, you know, your fingertips rather than having to use a brush. And also just what I do is at the end of every con, if I put hairspray in my wig, then I'll take it back and I'll wash it, and then I'll reapply this shit. But if I haven't put any hairspray in my wig, then at the end of the con, I'll just get home and apply a shitload of silicone spray to just the tips of the hair. This actually makes it kind of feel a little bit like real hair as well, which is a bit weird, but it takes a little bit of the shininess out of a wig as well, which I always find makes a wig look fake. Like that super shininess is something that gives away a wig. There's some tutorials on like if you soak your wig in fabric conditioner for like a day and then just, you know, drain it and then dry it with the fabric conditioner in, it totally gets rid of the shine and you end up with a wig that looks sort of very realistic. And that's a great thing when you're working with like very colourful wigs, or a wig like this which is just one colour. But yeah, that is how you can basically, it's not 100% tangle proof because hair isn't tangle proof, but this will stop it from getting tangled from just rubbing on clothes. It'll sort of make it look a lot neater. It won't like bunch up randomly because of the friction. You'll get definitely more like natural sort of, you know, you can get that like Tresemme hair sort of drop or whatever fucking hair brand you have in your country. Now I'm gonna cut this thing apart for a secret cosplay. Woohoo! Oh yeah, and hopefully I'll have another video that will be on how to take an already just inches from the grave, completely dead, frizzy, fried out wig and put life back into it. Alright, thanks! Oh my god, my floor's so slippery!